Round 3 of A-League is in the book. Auckland paint New Zealand blue. Sydney just get over Raw in a thriller with a 90th minute Jaden Kaczarski winner. And the Wanderers lose to Adelaide in an absolute thriller at CommBank Stadium. Who do I think is going to go through in round 4 and get their wins? And maybe we'll see some first wins of the season as well. Well, let's find out. And let's find out with today's guest. Josh, my podcast co host from Learning A Leagues. Josh, thanks for jumping on the predicts this week. How have you found the A League season so far?
Pretty entertaining, actually. High quality performances and a lot of goals being scored. So yeah, it's very entertaining. Yeah, like I said.
All right, let's get stuck into it. First game of the round is the Wanderers playing host to the Jets back at CommBank Stadium. Can they pick up another crucial 3 points here? The Jets away in Sydney. Maybe it's a prerequisite. Maybe their travels to Sydney this year are going to be positive, but I just think the Wanderers, they need to get their season started, and I think it starts in this match, and I'm going to go for a cheeky little 2-1 Wanderers win. First game, my Wanderers, your Jets. Who comes out on top? I think this is potential for a game of the round, in my opinion.
I think so. Prime time Friday night under the lights. I think as well at Combank. For me, I've got my team. I have to go the Jets. Had the bye last week, but I think we're starting to click into gear. I think with the result from the other week, we are starting to play a lot better with our footy. For me, I think Newcastle probably will win 2-1.
Next game, Melbourne Victory taking on Brisbane Roar down at Amy Stadium. The third game in a row for Melbourne Victory there. So they've, accompanied themselves in their home ground. They've been able to play a lot of fixtures in the one spot, maybe find some consistency for their season ahead. And I do think they're going to find some consistency and pick up the win against Brisbane in this one. I just think, even though Brisbane had signs of looking good, especially in that second half, especially when Florin Berenke came in, on my opinion, I just think Melbourne Victory just have too much class, and Patrick Osnorbo is going to set that side up to perform well this season. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 win for Melbourne Victory in this one. All right, second game of the week, the first Saturday kickoff, Melbourne Victory, Brisbane Roar. Do we see Roar cause an upset, or do Victory maintain their position as they have all season?
I think the victory again. I think 3 home games this season already for them. They look strong at home, so I think I have to go victory. I'm going to go a 2-0 win for victory.
Next up, Adelaide take on Western United. Two teams that I predicted down near the bottom of the ladder before the season started. Adelaide, they picked up a crucial 3 points away from home against the Wanderers last week. And Western United, they looked pretty flat, in my opinion, against Melbourne City on Monday night. Hopefully, for their sake, they can pick up a bit of form. I just don't think their attacking players have clicked just of yet. I don't think John Aloisi's found the formation and the style to bring the best out of these players. And for that reason, I'm going to go for another Adelaide win. I think it's going to be low scoring. I think it's going to be a 1-0 Adelaide win, to be honest. Next one, Adelaide versus Western United, primetime Saturday night. Adelaide, they looked good against the Wanderers last week, but the Western United come over and spoil the party in Adelaide.
Well, Western have spoiled the party against Wellington and who was the other team? And the Wanderers. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they can do that, especially with Ibasuki facing his old side at Cooper's. I do have a soft spot for Western, so I think I'm going to lean towards a draw here, a 1-1 draw.
Next up, it's first versus second from last season. The Mariners play host to Wellington Phoenix. Wellington, they're going to look to bounce back after a disappointing loss to Auckland in the derby last week. And the Mariners, they're looking for some kind of form. They picked up a point midweek in the Asian Champions League elite, but can they pick up their first win of the A-League season against the Wellington Phoenix in this one? I don't think they can. I think it's going to be another draw. I just don't see where the goals are going to come from for Mariners, in my opinion, unless they start someone like Sabit Ngor. I think he's looked really good coming off the bench, and I think he's about one of the only positive players from this season so far. So I'm going to back a draw in this one. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. Next game, and it's the first of 3 Sunday games. Interesting triple header on Sunday. Mariners versus Wellington, first versus second from last season. Do we see Wellington come over to the Mariners and cause a bit of an upset?
We could, but these past few games for the Mariners have been. I'm not going to be. I'm going to be honest. They're quite slow, a snooze fest, some would say. So for me, I'm going a draw. I'm going a nil or draw again for the Mariners. We could see Wellington turn up, but I think with their low block and Mariners high press, it might be a stalemate.
Next up, Sydney FC taking on MacArthur at Allianz Stadium. Sydney, they've looked good, but I think if Joe Lolly and Douglas Costa aren't back for this game, I think it might be a huge miss to Sydney FC, because I think the exposure that they leave themselves in behind, I think MacArthur are just set up perfectly to take full advantage of them. And I'm actually going to back a MacArthur win. I just think Jed Drew, Marin Yakulis, Velez and Jake Holman, I think they're just going to exploit that Sydney backline. I'm going to go for a MacArthur win. Obviously, I didn't even mention Luke Bratton. He's going to know how this team's weaknesses and how to pick them apart. So I'm going to go for a MacArthur win. Go for a cheeky little 3-1 win. And then the second game on Sunday, Sydney versus MacArthur. They always seem to provide something, these two teams, when they play each other. But who comes out on top on this one for you?
Bratton facing his old side, so it'd be interesting to see how he performs. He's been performing really well this season, so yeah. Again, I think that's my main point out of the game. And Sydney did have a high line against Brisbane, and I think with MacArthur's counter-attacking football, Jed Drew, Yakalish, they're quick players. So for me, I think MacArthur will come out this one. Probably a 2-0 win.
And the last one of this round before we head into the international break, it's Perth taking on Melbourne City. Melbourne City, although they got the win last week, I wasn't convinced. Aurelio Vidmar, his sides are just not set up for that attacking football. They had their chances, don't get me wrong, in that game against Western United, but especially with injuries to Marco Tilio and Andrew Naboot, I think that's going to be massive for the city side. I just don't see where they're getting these goals from without Max Caputo, Naboot, Tilio. I just don't see where they're coming from. Matt Leckie, he looks like he's going to be a crucial part if they can get him fit in time, but I'm going to go for a Perth win. I think they pick up their first win of the season. I think they're going to score goals. I'm going to go for a cheeky 2-0 Perth win. I just see them picking up their first win of the season over at HBF Park this season. And then the last game of the week, Perth taking on Melbourne City. Two teams that probably are a bit disappointed in their start of the season. Obviously, Perth would be not picking up a single point so far. And Melbourne City, they just haven't set the world alight under Aurelio Vidmar this season. Who comes out on top of this one?
Well, interesting to see. Taggart hasn't even scored a goal yet, so he might turn up in this game, and I think he will. I do have Perth City with some injuries as well to Naboot and to Tilio this weekend, just gone. So yeah, for me, Perth are going to win 3-1.
Well, thanks for jumping on the predicts this week, Josh. Your YouTube channel is getting started this week, isn't it?
Yes, I do have a video coming out with my vlog with Western and City last weekend. To be honest, not the greatest video, but we move. We still have to make the video, and yeah, I'm keen to start my YouTube career and possibly my TikTok career as well. So yeah, definitely looking forward to it.
And there we have it. There are my predictions for round 4 of the A-League season. Make sure to drop your predictions down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think these games are going to end up, because I think there's some real crackers this week, and I think there will be a few upsets for sure. Once again, like I mentioned, go check out Josh's channel. He's uploaded his first video, and you know, it's a good video, good first video. I'm not going to hate on it at all. Also great to see more people creating content around the A-League. So make sure you go check out Josh. Make sure you like and subscribe to both his channel and my channel as well. It helps us out both equally. Also go check out the Learning A-Leagues podcast. We got an interview with Tom Wadiam that we dropped this week as well. So make sure you go check out that. All links down in the description. Also, don't forget to check out my Movember fundraiser as well. And without further ado, I will see you next time. Goodbye.